Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to go ahead and get started. I would like to remind you that if you need Spanish interpretation today, please click on the globe icon at the bottom of your screen and select Spanish. If you need ASL interpretation, our ASL interpreter is spotlighted and you will be able to see her throughout this morning's presentation. We are going to go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to today's Family Technology webinar. Today our presenters are going to share some information on how to support your elementary students with mathematics using Dreambox, which is a new technology we have here in RUSD. So it should be some great information for you today. My name is Larissa Pineda, and I am your host today. I am with the Department of Innovation and Learner Engagement. I'll go ahead and let the panelists introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bristow. I'm a teacher on special assignment working with the early literacy and numeracy and also supporting the home-based program.
Hi, my name is Laura Ferreira, and I'm the Instructional Services Specialist for TK6 Mathematics. The third member of our team is Mary de Guzman. She was unable to make it today, but she is our Staff Development Specialist for TK6 Math.
Thank you, ladies. Welcome. Today our panelists are going to cover what is Dreambox, the role of the parent/guardian. They'll go through the student experience so you can see what students experience. They will walk you through creating a family dashboard account, give you tips for monitoring progress and supporting your child. If at all you have any questions today, our panelists are more than happy to answer those questions. Just use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and we'll have time throughout the presentation to answer those questions. Again, please use the Q&A button located at the bottom of the screen to ask your questions. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and let the panelists get started with the information.
Hello, everyone. This is Laura Ferreira. I'm going to start by talking about what Dreambox is. Dreambox Learning is a kindergarten through 8th grade math program that builds students' understanding and positively impact student achievement. Dreambox Learning is an engaging and fun tool that will support your math learner, whether they are a math whiz or they're building math skills from previous grade levels. All TK through 6th grade RUSD students have access to Dreambox through Clever, and it is available in both English and Spanish. The heart of Dreambox is the intelligent, adaptive engine that works to personalize the learning experience in real time so that each child gets what he or she needs. There are no assessments in Dreambox. Instead, the program collects information about students with each response they provide and adapts based on those responses. The program identifies the specific misconceptions and understandings and adjusts each question based on the information it just gathered. The program provides hints and extra support when needed. It also adjusts to provide more challenging content when needed. The program has millions of unique learning pathways. Now, we're going to watch a short video to introduce you to what a Dreambox lesson will look like.
As you watch this student engage in learning, notice some wonder. What is it that makes a Dreambox lesson? Place the tree marker at 1/4, then click Done. You can click Add a signpost to help you. Use the signpost to help you solve the problem. Let's add a signpost to the number line. Here's another way to look at some markers on the number line. I've placed blocks equal to 1/4 below the line. I'll help you with this one. This marker is equal to 1/4. Here's another way to look at some markers on the number line. Dreambox provides the tools for students to be in charge of their learning. This includes lessons that are strategically designed to develop conceptual understanding, with interactive manipulatives and built-in feedback to guide student exploration and sense-making of mathematical ideas. Student-driven learning begins with the student choosing their lesson from their personalized lesson pathway. Students then engage in a series of tasks as they explore digital manipulatives. These powerful tools allow students to engage in problem solving, showcase their thinking, and be an active participant in their learning. The manipulatives progress along with student understanding to uncover relationships between mathematical ideas and provide flexible thinking opportunities for the learner. Student responses and interactions with the digital manipulatives power what we call the Dreambox Intelligent Adaptive Engine. The adaptive engine analyzes how students solve problems and what strategies they use in order to meet them where they are and progress their learning at exactly the right pace. In this lesson group, Dreambox is building on my understanding that area is additive. I'm able to flexibly build arrays of rows and columns, and when I'm ready, Dreambox pushes me to look for efficient ways to represent multiplication with arrays. The adaptive engine is constantly supporting my thinking and is choosing lessons for me that will build on my learning and progress my skills. Student interactions allow Dreambox to interpret misconceptions and provide feedback in real time to support student thinking. Within each lesson, Dreambox will continue to progress learning by stepping in to provide personalized hints based on student strategies or mistakes that they make within the lesson. In this next lesson example, the student is successful with building double-digit multiplication arrays by decomposing by tens and ones. Dreambox wants to push student thinking by exposing them to a new strategy. To do this, Dreambox will limit the ability to create the array in the same way as before. Watch how the student utilizes the hint button to receive support with this new strategy and then ultimately apply it themselves. Build an array that represents the product of 49 times 49. Adjust the height or width of the array by groups of 10 to get as close to 49 and 49 as you can. Select the hint button again to have the array started for you. Here's one side of the array to get you started. Adjusting the array by the height of 50 looks like this. Adjusting the array by -1 looks like this. Dreambox is constantly analyzing thousands of these student interactions to adapt in real time as students learn, collecting data on everything from student responses to clicks of the mouse. With each lesson that a child completes, the adaptive engine is individualizing what the student sees next in their learning pathway, whether they're ready to take that skill up a notch or go back to some previous unfinished learning. The adaptive engine simultaneously supports every student in your classroom, providing them with the most personalized learning experience possible. You can trust that every student is getting exactly what they need when they need it.
Activities in Dreambox start with open-ended investigations that allow students to play with tools to make sense of concepts. Then, the program pushes the student to use more efficient strategies by seeing structure and relationships in mathematics. Finally, the program develops the student's ability to use procedural skills fluently. Dreambox has 3 learning environments. So when children log in, it may look different based on their grade level. This is the environment for students in kindergarten through grade 2. This is the learning environment for students in grades 3 through 5. And this is the learning environment for students in grade 6. Now, let's take a look at the role of parents and guardians with the use of Dreambox. First, ensure that your child is using a compatible device. Dreambox will work on desktop or laptop computers or Chromebooks. It will also work on iPads, but the Dreambox app must be downloaded. The Dreambox app is free to download. Dreambox does not currently work on cell phones, Android tablets, or e-readers such as a Kindle, Nook, or Pocketbook. To log in on a computer, navigate to RUSD's Clever portal and have your child log in. Then, click on the Dreambox icon and your child will be automatically logged in. On an iPad, download the Clever app from the App Store. Then, download the Dreambox app from the App Store. But do not have your child log in on the Dreambox app. Instead, go back to the Clever app and have your child log in. Then, from the Clever portal, select the Dreambox icon and your child will be automatically logged in. The next way you can support your child with Dreambox is to encourage them to complete 5 or more lessons per week. Students who complete 5 or more lessons per week experience more learning growth than their peers who complete fewer than 5 lessons. For students in grades K through 2, they can view their lessons completed by clicking on their avatar near the top left corner of the screen. For students in grades 3 through 6, they can view their lessons completed by clicking on the 3 lines near the middle of the right side of the screen. For all grade levels, the lesson counter resets weekly on Sunday. Students will know a lesson is complete when a green check mark appears next to the lesson. Lastly, encourage best practices. Be sure your child is the only person active on their account. Remember that the program adapts to support the specific needs of your child. So if someone else helps, the computer may assume your child understands something and move on to more challenging content when they are not ready. If your child begins a lesson, encourage them to complete it, because this provides the best information to the adaptive engine. Remind your child that it's okay to make mistakes. There are no penalties in Dreambox for incorrect answers. The program simply gathers the information and adapts based on the misconception, so your child will get the help they need. If your child gets stuck, remind them to use the help or hint button. Finally, be sure the volume is on so your child can hear the directions. Now let's take a look at the student experience. We are going to begin by looking at the K2 student environment. At the top left side of the screen, you will see your child's name and the number of coins they have. The coins are earned by completing lessons and can be spent in the arcade. This is where the arcade is found. The arcade games are an incentive, and while they are math-based, they do not count toward lesson completion. Students can also click next to the house. In the house, they can view adventure friends they have collected. They can also click on a certificate on the wall to see the certificates they have earned. These certificates can be printed. Students can also play with the math toys in the toolbox, view the coins they have, and click on their avatar to change it. There are 4 theme areas that the students can choose to play in: pixies, pirates, dinosaurs, and pet friends. Please note that the lessons for your child will not change based on the theme they choose. When your child clicks on a theme, they will be taken to their lesson path. This is what the lesson path will look like. From here, your child will be able to select a lesson. It is recommended that your child begin by playing a lesson with the yellow circle around it. When a lesson is completed, the circle around the lesson will turn green and a green check mark will appear. Your child can go back and practice lessons that have already been completed, but they will not get credit for completing a new lesson. If your child gets stuck, they can click on the question mark to get a hint. Your child can click on the pause button to pause a lesson. And before stopping their play, your child should click on the X in the top right-hand corner to ensure that their progress is saved. This is a great idea when your child is unable to complete one lesson and has to stop playing the game. If your child clicks the X, their progress on that game will be saved so they do not have to start at the beginning again. On the bottom right-hand side of the screen, you will see an envelope, and if your child clicks on the envelope, they can send a message to their teacher. Now let's take a look at the 3rd through 6th grade student experience. It is very similar to the K2 experience. The student's name and number of coins are found on the top left-hand side of the screen. Each of these is a lesson chosen specifically for your child. To start a lesson, your child simply clicks on it. If your child begins a lesson but doesn't finish, there will be a banner across the lesson that says "In progress." If your child clicks on My Stuff, they can view the badges they've earned by completing lessons. They can also view collections, which allows them to earn games to play. Their coins can be used to play the games. They also have an area for avatar, their music, or their wallpaper. Just like the TK2 page, students have a help button, a pause button, an exit and save button, and a way to send their teacher a message. Now, we're going to take a live look at what the student experience looks like. So from the Clever portal, your child needs to ensure they are logged in. Then they need to locate the Dreambox icon and click on it to open. This is the TK2 environment. Your child's name will be up here at the top along with the coins. Again, to see the number of lessons completed in a week, your child should click on the avatar. The circus tent is where your child can get to the games.
This is the arcade where you can play more fun games. Click any game to learn more about it and decide if you want to play.
This is what the home looks like.
This is My House, where you can find the prizes and rewards you've earned while playing Dreambox. You can also change your character or play with the Dreambox Learning tools. Have fun!
Each piece in the home is interactive, so your child can click on their avatar to change it. They can click on the piggy bank to see the number of coins they have. They can click on the toolbox to get to math tools.
Welcome to My Tools, where you can play with the Dreambox math tools that you have found. After you've discovered a new tool in the adventure part, come here to play with it as much as you like.
You'll notice that some of the tools have a lock. These will become unlocked once your child learns how to use them in their activities on the Dreambox learning pathway. If your child clicks on the bookcase, he or she can see the adventure cards they have earned.
This is your collection of adventure friends. You'll find even more friends as you play the adventures in the adventure park.
If your child clicks on the adventure friend, it will open and give them more information about the adventure friend. These cards can be printed. The certificate on the wall will show any certificates your child has earned.
This is where you will collect certificates for each adventure you finish.
The certificates can be printed as well. As noted earlier, you can see the pause button, the hint button, the X to exit and save, and the envelope where a child can message their teacher. For younger students, there are pre-created messages that they can click on. The student can also click to hear what the message says.
I've got this and am ready for something new.
In order to send the message to the teacher, the student clicks send. For students who are playing the program in Spanish, these messages will automatically be changed into Spanish. Now we are going to take a look at how to create a family dashboard account. First, have your child log in to their Dreambox account. No matter which grade level your child is in, you will see a Setup Parent Access link at the bottom right side of the screen. Start by clicking on that. Please note that you cannot create a family dashboard account on an iPad. It must be done on a computer or Chromebook. After you have clicked on the link, enter your email address and create a password. If you already have an account, be sure to click on I am a current customer box. This would apply if you already have a parent account created for another child. Next, click on Submit. After clicking Submit, you will be taken to the Dreambox login page. Enter your email address and the password you chose. Then you can access the family dashboard by clicking on the blue Family Dashboard button. If you forget your password, click on the link that says Parent below the box that says Password. From this page, you can click on the blue button again to get to the Family Dashboard, or your child can click on their avatar and play. Once you've opened the Family Dashboard, you can monitor your child's progress. First, you will be taken to the Overview page. On this page, you can set the length of time you would like to view. You can see the time your child has spent on Dreambox, the number of lessons they have completed, about your child's progress. If you scroll down on the Overview page, you will also be able to see your child's overall proficiency and growth. This is a comprehensive snapshot of your child's work on Dreambox. There is a key at the bottom right side. The light green shows the areas where Dreambox has assumed proficiency. This means your child did not need to complete Dreambox and activities in order to bypass those activities. The darker green shows where your child has shown proficiency by completing Dreambox lessons. The black growth arrows show what your child is currently working on and progress they have made over the selected date range. The white areas show available lessons that are growth opportunities for your child. Please note that sometimes your child will have activities at a different grade level, so you may see gaps. In this example, you'll see that there's a white area for addition and subtraction in 3rd grade, but the child has already completed place value for 4th grade. This is typical and is a result of the adaptive engine noticing that the child is ready for more learning in place value, but still needs to do some work on addition and subtraction. If you continue to scroll down the Overview page, you will see the lessons your child is currently working on. You can click on the demo lessons if you would like to see what the lessons look like for your child. There is also a key at the bottom of the page. The green circle with the check shows that your child has completed the lesson with proficiency. The half blue circle shows that the lesson is in progress. And the orange triangle shows an area that may need attention. We will discuss this more in depth when we look at the activity feed. To get to the activity feed, scroll back up to the top of the page and click on the second tab that says Activity. The activity feed provides you with insight about how your child is doing on lessons. The most recently completed lesson is shown first. The symbol shown at the top right side of each lesson correlates to the text below the lesson title. Please see the key on the right side of the screen to understand the different symbols. If your child has a gray check mark, please do not worry. This is common, and it means that Dreambox has uncovered some unfinished learning and will now adjust the next lesson to address it. You do not need to take any action when you see the gray checkbox. If you see an orange triangle with an exclamation mark, this is when you may want to help. Typically, Dreambox should be done independently. But if you see this symbol, it means your child is at a sticking point. If you want, you can play the lesson with your child directly from this page and provide them with support. To play the lesson, click on Play Lesson beneath the image. If you click on View Progress, you will be taken to a standards report. You can also get to the standards report by scrolling to the top of the page and clicking on the third tab that says Standards. On the standards report, you can select different grade levels and you can view your child's progress on specific standards. The usage report will allow you to see your child's usage. To get to that report, again, scroll to the top of the page and click on Usage. You will be able to see the number of minutes your child has spent on Dreambox and the number of lessons completed for varying lengths of time. If you click on the Assignments tab, you will see any assignments your child's teacher has given and the progress your child has made on the assignments. If you log in now and there aren't any assignments, please don't worry. Teachers have been encouraged to allow students to play for 4 to 6 weeks before giving them an assignment. Now, I'm going to give you a live demonstration of what the family dashboard looks like. In order to get to the family dashboard, I went to dreambox.com and selected Sign In. Then I entered my email address and password and click Login. Next, I can click on the Family Dashboard button again, or I can allow my children to log in and play from here. When you go to the Family Dashboard, you will be able to access all of your children's account from one page. In order to see all of your children, click on the drop-down arrow next to the child's name that appears, and you can select another child. This is the overview page that was shown before. So you can see your child's overall progress. Please note that the blue section is your child's current grade level. If your child has gaps in understanding, please do not be alarmed. Dreambox is being used to help fill in those gaps in your child's understanding. If you scroll down the page, you can see the lessons your child is working on and play a demo lesson. This is the Activity tab, and this is where you want to look closely to see if you have any of the orange triangles with an exclamation point. If your child has one of those, I encourage you to play the lesson with your child and support them. In just a few minutes, I'm going to give you ideas about how to specifically support your child when they're struggling with a lesson. To get to the standards report, click on Standards. From here, you can toggle between grade levels. And for each grade level, you can look at the skills and standards your child is proficient in progress on, or standards that your child has not started. The Usage tab will show you the minutes of Dreambox usage. If you hover over each day, it will show you the usage for that day. The same is true for the lessons completed. You can also change the date range so you can see a different length of time. The Assignments tab will show you any assignments the teacher has given, and on the right-hand side, it will describe to you how to view your child's progress. Now we're going to look more closely at some ways you can support your child. In my position, I have talked to many parents about helping with math, and many of them have told me that it is very challenging. They have said things like, I can't help because the math is different than the math I learned in school. Or they say things like, I was never good at math, so I can't help my child. But please don't worry. You don't need to be a mathematician to support your child. One of the best things you can do to support your child is helping them develop grit. And it doesn't take a mathematician to help them do that. Grit is having passion and sticking with things, even when they're challenging. That's a skill that will serve our children well, no matter what they face in life. One of the ways we can help children develop grit is by supporting what's called productive struggle. When a child engages in productive struggle, you can think of it as the right spot for learning. It falls right in between understanding and needing some support. When your child is at this point, instead of telling them how to do something, we want to encourage them to work through the challenge. As Joe Bowler, a professor of education at Stanford, says, mistakes create brain sparks. A great example of this one is one I heard about riding a bike. If your child is learning how to ride a bike, you can jump on a bike and show them how it's done, but it doesn't mean they'll be able to do it. Instead, they will need to try it for themselves and learn from their own experiences. So as your child works on Dreambox activities, reassure them that it's okay to make mistakes. The process of learning involves making guesses, trying things out, and learning from those experiences. As your child works, instead of telling them how to do something, consider saying things like, what are the directions asking you to do? What move do you think you can make here? What does the help or hint button say? What do you already know? Give your best guess. What happens when you try that? These questions and comments will help your child develop grit and perseverance. We want our children to understand that learning doesn't mean having the correct answer right away. It means we work through things to make sense of them first. We want children to know that learning mathematics isn't about memorizing steps. Instead, it's about finding meaning and understanding. Now we're going to take a moment and watch this child in action using Dreambox. I'm going to pretend that I'm this child's parents, and I'm going to model some things that can be said if your child was doing the same activity and having the same struggles.
What? Can I go down? Oh yeah, I can. So definitely all I'm doing here is just adding, minusing, doing that. What? Yay. 57 times 50. So what the? Is it? What? Wait, what? Wait, what? 57 times
You created 60 plus 7 and 60 plus 7. Represent this expression. Try again.
At this point, you can see that the boy is mildly frustrated. So as a parent, I might jump in and say, that was a good try, but it said you created 60 plus 7 and 60 plus 7. What did you want to create? I would let him respond and then ask, how could you do that? When he responds to that, I would say, go ahead and try.
Okay, well, apparently I did it wrong. Let's see how. What is this?
I will help you with this one.
What is this?
The array needs to be adjusted to 57 and 57.
That is what? Like a -3. Dang it! Okay, that's 3,000.
At this point, I would ask, how is the response the computer showed different from the response you built? I would wait for him to respond and make him notice that he did 60 and 7 more, but the computer wanted him to make 60 and then take 3 away so that it would be 57 and 57.
3,420 by 180 again. 3,200. 3,220. 40 plus 9. Yay!
Notice that as the parent, I didn't tell him what to do. I just asked questions and encouraged him to try something new. I did that because I want him to learn to test things out and learn from his mistakes. I want him to persevere. Now, in all honesty, what I wanted to do as a parent was jump in and show him how I would do 57 times 57 using the standard algorithm. But we need to pause and trust that this part of the learning is an investigation where the child is learning how multiplication works, and eventually the program will drive the student towards more efficient strategies and ultimately the standard algorithm that we as adults would be most likely to use. Another way you can support your child is to celebrate success. You can praise positive thinking by saying things like, good try, I like that you're sticking with it. You can also recognize the number of lessons your child has completed. Remember that you can find this information in the family dashboard. If you set up a family dashboard account, you will also receive an email notification when your child has reached a milestone. The email will give you a summary of your child's success, and it will also provide you with ideas for you to support learning at home. You will also see when your child has reached a milestone on the family dashboard. On the overview page, you will see the student achievements, and it will look like this. If you click on the View button, you will see a certificate that can be printed. You can surprise your child by printing the certificate and displaying it somewhere at home. You can also access certificates to print by going to dreambox.com/activities. On the same webpage, you can also access drawing activities, color by numbers, activity trackers, and much, much more. I know this webinar has included a lot of information, so you will also be provided with this document. It is available in both English and Spanish, and we'll give you links to short videos that will summarize the information that has been presented today. So now at this point, we're going to pause and answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Laura. That was a lot of really great information. Families, we will have those resources available on our website, riversideunified.org, under the Family Technology Resources tab. We do have quite a few questions that have come in, so thank you, families. We're going to go ahead and start answering those. Our first question says, can students complete all 5 lessons in one day? Should they do more than 5 in a week?
Yes, that's a great question. Your child can complete the 5 lessons at any point during the week. So the time can be flexible. So if your child has more time to complete lessons, say on a Tuesday, and no time at all on Wednesday, then it's fine for them to do more work on a different day of the week. It's also perfectly fine if your child would like to complete more lessons. There's no limit to the amount of time they can play.
Thank you, Laura. The next question says, do students start at grade level standards? Will they go below or above their grade level when they use Dreambox?
That's another great question. So when your child is enrolled in the program, they are automatically set to their grade level, but the program doesn't necessarily assume that they have all of the foundational knowledge necessary to access their grade level content. So if you recall, the student on the screen was in 4th grade, but was still doing 3rd grade lessons. The child will work through those lessons before they begin doing most of the 4th grade content. So don't be alarmed if your child starts at a grade level before their actual assigned grade level. Because the program also adapts for our students who need more than grade level standards, your child may progress beyond. That's why it's really important for us to have a program that goes up to 8th grade, so that if we have 6th grade students who are ready to go beyond grade level material, they have content available to push them further.
Thank you, Laura. The next question, is the parent portable available in Spanish if my child is working in English? So perhaps the child is working in English, but the parent needs that Spanish portal. Is that an option?
I do not believe the portal is available in Spanish, but I would recommend trying the Google Translate tool. I know we have support from ILE, so if you're unfamiliar with how to use that, we can get that help for you. It will translate everything on the screen from English to Spanish.
Great, thank you. Our next question says, what if I can't help my student with a lesson? Will the teacher help them?
Yes, I would recommend emailing the teacher, and the teacher should be able to log in and see the same information you can as a parent and play the demo lesson with your child to help support them if they're struggling.
Thank you. Our next question, the results from previous grades reflected on the family dashboard. Where is this data taken from?
Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the family dashboard for you. So here, if I go to the overview page and I select the drop-down arrow, you can see that prior school years are also available. So if your child used Dreambox in the past, you will be able to access what they did in prior years. So you can see I'm switching back to the 2019 school year. It's slowly loading, but this will fill in so you can see the growth that took place during that year, as well as the achievements.
Thank you, Laura. Does the family dashboard send alerts to the email that it is used to set up on the account? Is this something that's an option to set up in the dashboard?
I'm sorry, Larissa, can you repeat that question for me?
Sure. Does the family dashboard send alerts to the email that is used to set up the account? And is this something that is an option to set up in the dashboard?
So the family dashboard will send alerts when your child has reached a milestone or a goal. That will automatically happen, and it will be sent to the email that you used to create the family dashboard. But it does not send an alert when your child has that orange triangle with the exclamation mark. So that's something that you would have to log in to see.
Great, thank you for that clarification. And families, thank you for those great questions. Those were some really good ones. We do have a couple more minutes. If there are any additional questions or if you would like for Laura to demonstrate something again, please let us know using the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen. And we'll leave it open for just another couple of minutes if there are any last minute questions. As I mentioned, a recording of today's webinar will be available on our website at riversideunified.org under the Family Resources tab, along with those resources that Laura shared earlier that are available in both English and Spanish. We have another question, really good question here. If my child does not complete the lesson, does it start over at the beginning of that lesson the next time they log on?
That's a great question. This is something that I just learned as a parent. So I'm going to go back and show you just one more time. So from the Clever portal, I'm going to go into Dreambox, and then I'm going to go to the learning path. So from the learning path, and remember all 4 of these are a learning path, but the lessons will be the same. It's only the theme that changes. So if I click on a learning path.
All right.
Let's go finish finding our lost treasure before the sea monster wakes up.
Then from here, your child will see the different lessons. So again, the yellow lessons are
Let's continue looking for some of our missing treasure.
Click the game you want to play.
Sorry, the pirate wanted to talk over me. So the yellow lessons are the recommended lessons. The green lessons are the lessons that have been completed. The orange lessons are lessons that your child has tried but is having difficulty with. So if your child goes into a lesson,
make it a new way. Let's play.
Good luck with this one.
Use beads on both wires to make 6.
I'm pausing the lesson because what I want to show you is that if your child starts working on the lesson and you want to be sure the progress is saved, your child simply needs to click on this X button from inside the lesson before they close out Dreambox. So once again, to save the progress on a lesson so they don't have to start back at the beginning, they simply click on the X on the top right-hand side of the screen.
Thank you, Laura, for demonstrating that. It looks like that is all of the questions we have for now. Families, if you have a last minute question you'd like to answer, please go ahead and type that in for us. A reminder that today's webinar will be available on our website, riversideunified.org, underneath the Family Technology Resources tab. In addition to the information that Laura shared, those handouts, they will be available on the website as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time and your dedication to your students' success. We will have another family technology webinar next week for secondary mathematics. So if you have a student who is in middle school or high school, please join us again, and that information will be available on our website. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Have a fantastic day.